Guru Kripa Kevalam. Namaste, namaste everyone. Very warm welcome to Satsang today. The Guru Shimoji Baba ki Jai. Happy to look at some questions today if you have. Something keeps bringing me back to you, Father. You don't know what's going on. Satsang is one big letting go, or one big forgetting. So when you say, I don't have a clue, for me, it is the best news. How is it for you? It's good because for me it feels good. It feels good. So as you're clueless, is there a clue about being clueless also? Even that I am clueless or I don't have a clue is like a judgment, isn't it? But your existence is independent of any judgment, any conclusion, any interpretation. Yes.
All judgments come afterwards.
All judgments are later. Actually, when we say, I know something, or when we say, I'm clueless, both mean the same thing. Not what they mean traditionally, but in actuality, we have never really known, mentally known anything at all. Not known. So at least when we say, I don't know, it seems to be empty of the heaviness of the pretense of knowing. We keep taking this cat example, and this seems to be quite prevalent. Even physicists have been using this cat, showing this cat. We don't even know if there is no observer and you put a cat in a box, whether the cat still is. So we don't know what is going on in this realm of perception. And all that we mentally know is about this anyway. All that we mentally know is only about the realm of perception. That which is beyond the realm of perception, beyond the veil of perception, cannot be known mentally, because this mental design is just for phenomenal things. So, so the habit is like that. We've, we've been taught that till you know it, till then you have not succeeded. But that is false. Freedom, in a way, is to come to this freedom from the known.
So, okay, I'm going to ask a question on that. So you say freedom is the place to come. I mean, it's to come to. Sorry, what was that?
The freedom from the known.
Yeah, freedom from the known. Yeah. So in my own being, the only thing I can say is I exist. There's any other knowledge, even that is a, any other knowledge is coming and going. All other forms of knowledge come and go.
Yes, but even this knowledge comes and goes.
This knowledge also comes and goes.
That which knows I exist,
Yes.
and I don't exist. This is a non-verbal, non-conceptual, non-perceptual knowingness. It is just so natural. It is just so natural that you don't have the words for it. So we cannot encapsulate it in words. But it is your undeniable reality.
Mm-hmm.
Because anything that you even say actually is underscored by this that I am aware of.
Right.
Is it? Right. So yeah, I'm going to Calcutta. We're actually saying, I'm aware that I'm going to Calcutta.
Yes.
It's quite hot, isn't it? So I'm aware that there is heat. Is it? So that I am aware part underscores, even when we say I exist, what you're actually saying is I am aware of my existence. Right. So this part is so natural to us that we don't even have to say it out in words. Because everything that we are speaking from our awareness of. And that is why you cannot be rid of this. Because you even say that I got rid of awareness. What you're actually just saying is that I am aware that I got rid of awareness. So it is so natural that we don't need to say it out. It is completely understood, but not conceptually. It is just okay. It's yourself. Yourself is just. Because even if I was to say here, yourself is just here, the mind can translate that into some meaning of here-ness, which is not true about this.
So if I can go very slowly with you for that. So in deep sleep, I'm fully there. Beingness comes, and this entire appearance shows up. And then it almost seems like that the I I mean, what I'm saying is not true, but what I believe to be I
Yes.
gets attached to this, right? But my true I is the I that's there, fully aware in deep sleep. Now, but actually,
And
even
that
that's
is
a
why,
lie
in
because
fact,
the I hasn't moved position at
it
all,
hasn't moved.
right?
So that's why the sages have said that waking up actually means to see that which remained unchanged from deep sleep to waking state, to recognize that in the waking state itself,
Right, right,
is like an awakening experience.
right, right. Um, when I look, actually, I can't look there because I'm looking is away in a sense, you know. Um,
So, what are we trying to solve?
we're not trying to solve anything.
Yeah.
I think we're just trying to drop something,
Uh,
in a sense.
yeah.
Is the belief in some perception right now that we're trying to solve something.
It is there. Some perception is there, and the sense is that I am included in that perception.
Actually, I'm not included in that.
Not
When I
included.
really look, Father, I'm not included in
Yes.
that perception.
And when you
But
don't
by habit,
really-
I tend to believe that.
only a belief.
Yes, yes.
So if you narrow it down to what it really is, it is that it is just a belief.
Damn good belief, Father. It just
Damn good.
it's a damn good belief. We could just go.
Damn strong.
Yeah, strong. You know, yeah. So it's a belief, Father. Yeah.
But that's why I was saying that once you identify it as just a belief, then can you tell me if any belief can last this moment? What belief can you carry from this moment to this moment? Organically. You know what I mean?
Can you?
Organically in the sense effortlessly.
Yeah. So
Without any
effortlessly,
time,
all belief is
without
seen.
any.
Even the need to understand this is seen.
Yeah.
Even this need to sit here and discuss this is seen. So organically, there is no
Belief
yeah,
is there.
no.
And if the sense of I being something in this perceptual world is just a belief, and in this moment it cannot survive this moment. So we can go really slowly.
Yes.
Is it anything more than a belief? The egoic I, anything other than a belief?
No.
If that is clear, then it's like this. But you cannot, even if you try, you cannot, this moment cannot take birth and in its original birthing have a belief already there. Like if I say, now, 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 you will always say, give me some time so I can put it together. Is it? That putting together is putting on the mask.
Yes. Yes.
Let me give me a moment to collect my thoughts. Is it? It's like put my clothes on, clothes of identity. But if I don't give you the time, therefore identity is time based. You are not.
Okay. So
If you're seeing this, already it is magical. Then all that burden of doing, solving, dropping, any any aim.
So if I'm quite happy to just make a fool of myself today. If I just want to go and just sit with you all day. I think what is happening, because obviously when there is some belief going into something, because I'm definitely picking up some dissatisfaction with the fact that some and I'm seeing that dissatisfaction, so it's obviously not me.
I feel like
it's not understood.
Many of you are coming face to face with the recognition that I am not going to get this.
Right.
You're coming face to face with the recognition that I am not going to get this. Right. Now, for the seeker, it sounds like terrible news. Right. I've been coming to Satsang, I've been doing this, but you're really seeing that really I'm not getting anything out of this.
Yes.
I've tried this inquiry, I've tried Am I Aware Now, which is Father's Samurai Sword or whatever. But I really am not getting anything.
Yes. Yes.
So, if this me is left without possessions, not getting anything, it cannot last. It has to grasp. It has to hold on something, or at least be given on a hope that you will get something. Okay? So for a bit, it can sound a bit cruel. It can sound like, but Father, why are you not helping me? But I am helping you by not giving you any more concepts that you have to drop tomorrow.
So that's exactly
if I just give you some band-aid now, and sometimes I do that, but if I just give you some band-aid now, then you'll have to take that off tomorrow. So when you come face to face with this fact that there is nothing for the cat here, which came for the freedom, or came for the bowl of milk called freedom, but really there is no cat. You see, so there is nothing for me to get. Then you can feel like, but that's so unsatisfactory. Then for a while, and I'm not just speaking for you, but for the entire Sangha, it can feel like, but you're my master, this is how you're supposed to help me, isn't it? It can feel like that. But then, if you already know how you could be helped, then you don't need a master actually.
I have no such question.
So, if you already have an idea of what freedom could be, or should be like, or what should change, then you already know what outcome you want. But now what I'm saying is that there is no outcome, there is only this. And this itself is what, in worldly terms, you could call freedom. Whether you call it isness, this, awareness, absolute, consciousness, Sadguru, God, these terms also start losing their meaning. Because all there is just all there is. Now, if you didn't have an idea that you had to get somewhere, then, or that something is missing, or that something is not completely resolved for you, then that, if I Byron Katie it and say, then how would your life be without this notion? Then there be no problem. And what forces you to have this notion? Okay, let's play this game. Let's play the notionless game. All of us. Huh? We haven't done this in a while. So all of us, I'm going to say 3, 2, 1, then we start. And we just try. Let everything come and go. Everything. Thoughts, events, sensations, emotions, chakras, anything, everything. Everything. We allow it, we don't resist anything, we don't block anything, just let it go. But if there is an interpretation which is getting held on to, then we say it out loud. You see? Without judgment, without anything, and nobody is to judge anybody else's notions. Like many times we play this game and we're just like letting go of all our notions. And somebody else exposes a notion, we're like, oh, no, that one notion. Not like, just like traffic on the road, on the road which we don't have to cross. Right? So shall we play this game like that? And all of you who are listening online also can just type it out. So we play this don't believe our next thought game. Right? Where we're just letting go of all ideas, events, whatever's coming. If something gets picked up, if something seems like it is true, it has meaning. Maybe not just a momentary thing. Sometimes like a momentary idea can be bought, but then you see that truly you're not giving it any meaning. So you can look at a place from which you can play this with integrity. Okay, am I really giving meaning or giving relevance or value to this notion? Then you can expose it. Okay, so starting now, three, two, one. There's a lot to share. Good. I'm afraid to expose my notion. Have a welcoming attitude to everything. Something feels stuck. The thought that nothing is getting stuck is stuck. So if the thought is repeating itself, let it come and go. Don't bother. But if you find yourself believing it over and over, then repeat it. Repeat the exposing it. So many times it's just the thought which is coming and going, and it's repetitive. You see? And that is fine. You can come and go. We're not so concerned about that. But if every time it comes, you're buying into it, then you can say it out loud. Even if it sounds silly, don't worry about it. Just keep repeating the same thing if you like.
One thought that's coming here is like, it's a clear thought that I'm right at the edge. I'm right at the edge of what I don't know what something, and just that little bit of understanding will solve.
Yeah.
That's the thought. Just I'm right at I don't know something. I don't know.
There's no sneakier or more untrue notion than this.
Yes.
Mother, I to the cliff. Mother, push me on. Sometimes.
feel like if I totally let my body go, like I don't know what it's going to do.
If I totally let my body go, I don't know what it's going to do.
Screaming.
Please clarify now. Scream, jump around.
They're the main three candidates.
I'm going to read some from the chat also. I mean, we'll get. I see the questions also which are there before this, but we'll get to that in a minute. So, someone says, responsible for my patience. Yes. This thought gets redeemed. There is restlessness, is a thought. Then someone says, I can't believe I am not going to get it. That apparently push some button so it can play, the mind can play with that one. Anger, because my mom wants me to eat huge amounts of meat. See, these thoughts are getting believed. The voice in the head is saying that this voice should not be there. That the story is real. This is where I am spending my day-to-day life. So my day-to-day life is often I feel that I don't have a direction in my life, that I won't succeed in life. That's not enough to just trust and go with the flow. So you buy into these thoughts of have to do something, have to get some control over life. You can't just trust life for where it's taking you. These kind of ideas. Good. Now, fresh, 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 fresh. 3, 2, 1, start.
Everything around whether something should be shared or not, whether it's believed or let go.
There's confusion around whether I'm really believing it or I'm letting it go. I'm not even sure.
Oh, this is fun. Oh, this is so nice. Oh,
Uh, yeah, so positive seeming one though. This is nice. I could live like this. So fun. Okay. More positive. I'm feeling I'm in the right place. I'm being guided where I'm supposed to be. The fear that there is not enough love to go around, and the feeling that I need to hold on to it when I experience it from another. Trying to catch one just to participate. Need to participate. Other, what should I do about my desire? We can clarify later whether this is an actual question or whether this is part of the game that you're playing. And if it is an actual question, we can look at it after the game. Life is too useless. Another thought. Now seeing that anger is directionless, just feel it, and a desire from the mind to report it.
cannot be seen? Is it just thought? Is it true?
I cannot be seen. Is it just a thought or is it the truth? We look at that. If you have it as a question which gets meaning, we look at that. Father, I don't know anything. I don't want to. I don't know what is reality and what is dream. I don't even know whose life is this. I just don't know anything. Nice one. Whatever I expose to Father will be magically solved.
Like I can't be bothered with this game.
I can't be bothered with this game.
It's like it's just cutting more.
It's just adding complication. This does not feel like God. This can really work for me. Really get me there. All I have to do this is this every day for 2 hours.
How much more do I have to do?
How much more do I have to?
So it's really policeman job. Yes, no. Like,
Yeah.
no. Good, bad.
Like being a policeman of right, wrong, good, bad, true, untrue, all these opposites. Prakhar says, why am I not getting it? Been trying so hard. The belief that I found real cures for the body. There's a good one, she says, all this spiritual search comes from nothing. I'm back to square one, not knowing anything.
It will happen when it least expected.
It will happen when I least expect it. So let me start least expecting. That's the trick. Are you least expecting it? No, you must be expecting. That's why it's not happening.
It's a strong belief that I love her.
Strong belief that I love drama. The belief that I am a limited, separate person who can be added or taken away from by outside influences. I am left positionless. What to say or not to say, nothing has meaning.
I'm not yet with the person. And if I really wanted the truth, I'm doing meditation. I wouldn't get caught. I wouldn't wear this mask. Often. Something is injury.
I am not completely fed up of the person yet. If I truly wanted only the truth, then I would be doing the invitation, inquiry, all of this more. And something must be still enjoying this personal mask. That's why I keep putting
I'm so fed up with the person who doesn't seem to make it.
it. I'm so fed up of the person, it makes no difference to the person. I've always find this game very beautiful. So innocent and yet it is describing the human condition in some way. I want to speak for a moment on positionlessness. There were some questions on the meaning of life and what's the point of all of this? It is so meaningless and I'm not really getting it anyway. So there's a half positionlessness, which means that I'm still giving meaning to an idea of a me or this I as some entity. But this I that I'm considering myself to be still given meaning, but everything else around this body mind I'm saying is meaningless. Okay? So then that can become a sort of oppressive positionlessness. Okay? Well, what's the point of this life? Why am I even here? This kind of thing. So this is just misunderstood positionlessness or a half positionlessness. True positionlessness is to let go of this, the crutches of this me, the perspective of a me, the perspective of an individual entity. The non-existent me has been given too much meaning. And when we come to this positionlessness or meaninglessness from the perspective of not even having this position of the me, then all this oppressiveness of the so-called philosophers is not there. Other, these tragic poets. Some of these tragic poets come to some very beautiful insights. They write beautiful lines and things like this. But you can see that it's half positionlessness. They drop the meaning in the world, but the me still continues to have meaning. I was reading something very beautiful by Leo Tolstoy. And this was much after he had already written his classics and everything. And it seemed like he spent a long time after that in deep, like existential depression. Like that. I was reading and writing, and I could see that it's just this simple trick which seems to be holding him back. Right. There's no point because everything's going to die anyway. So why am I even living? So everything else, the pointlessness of perception has been seen, and it's been applied to everything but one body mind, which he's calling me or I. If that is also seen through, then what is there to be?
Can you explain that?
In the sense that if you still consider yourself to be a body mind, and you keep hearing about positionlessness or meaninglessness or everything is going to death anyway, you see, all this world is coming and going. But you latch on very strongly to the body mind idea, you see, then you can feel like I, body mind. I'm in this world which is constantly unsteady and going towards death, and it's completely meaningless. So there is no point in my being this person anyway, this body anyway. So what's the point of living? These kind of things. You see? Because so we've dropped the positionlessness or the meaninglessness of what our senses are bringing to us, but we've still not dropped the idea that I am a limited entity or I am an object in this world. Now view it from your true perspective of the seeingness itself. What lamentation does that have? It has no lamentation. It's not saying I am caught in this world, how do I escape it, this kind of thing.
What if you're like,
Yeah.
it's like, whenever you say that this non-existent me,
Yes.
there kind of like a anger arises,
Yeah.
the resistance, and it just says, you really are crazy. I mean, and it only calms down when the belief or when the idea that, okay, I exist, but maybe I don't exist as a person. So, you see what I'm,
Yes. Yeah. Where is the me that exists?
I can't even hear what you're saying. This thing, not really.
The me that exists is which one?
It's the one which is perceiving all of this and who's seemingly deciding something and not this.
Is there anything which is not me? Then
Yeah, now the body is not me.
see, this is the thing.
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
how is it that we take some perception and that is me, and some other perception which is not me?
How is it? I mean,
Why make this distinction? What is the benefit of this? What is the benefit of the ego? In the sense, the ego is just a belief that I am a separate individual. A belief in separation, a belief in individuality is what is called the ego. So does it have any benefits?
no.
Your own seeing is the proof.
Yeah.
Yes, what you're seeing right now is completely, it is clear to you that all this body sensations, all of this is just contained within you, just like all these other sensations are. You're not able to stop yourself at just being this body. In actuality, all of this is contained within you. It is all perception within you. And do you have the experience of just this body? No, you're also hearing these words. You're also seeing this body. See? It is just one centrality of one perspective which the mind uses and says, but you must be contained in this. What is the proof of this separate one? But even otherwise, suppose you hadn't heard what I said, what is the proof of the separate one? We know no doctor has found a separate one living inside the body. No surgeon has found the person. Nobody can tell me who the doer is, who the sufferer is, who the experiencer is. The separate one is just never found. So there is no proof for this separation. But all of this perception, and to see that I am untouched by this perception is proof that you are beyond all that you perceive. So everything that you're seeing is pointing to your reality, even in the world of perception. Only the subtitles are all messed up. The movie is fine. It is just these subtitles from the mind. Suppose that the movie was perfect movie. Is it? Perfect. But there was no dialogue. And something said the trickster in all part of the movie itself. There was a trickster who is making all these subtitles. Okay? You are this one, this should happen to you, your life should be like this, your master should be like this, your body should be like this, your bank account should be like this, your work should be like this. All everything is going along perfectly. But in the subtitle this is coming. Everything in the subtitle. This is wrong. This can't be happening to me. I will never get it. And the body sitting there, is just sitting fine. The narration is all of this. And the thing is that we weren't even naturally reading those subtitles or bothered about them. We thought, no, that is you. That is still talking about you. They are talking about you. Then, when you realize what you are, when you see what you are, that means I just look at the movie and say, none of the subtitle is applying to me. In reality, then for a while, then the subtitles can seem like, oh, that one, other, that subtitle when it comes. Everything else is fine, but this one, usually like for satsang, it is usually the usual suspects are the seeker one, like I haven't got it, when will I get it? And, I'm not worthy yet, or something like that. Or it is the most, maybe the most potent one in normal human existence is the relationship. But the body is fine, the world is fine, everything is sitting around exactly the way it is meant to be. And this happens even in satsang. In the movie, this voice is saying something. But many times you're not hearing this voice, you're hearing the subtitle track. Which is saying, oh, don't listen to this guy, he's not helping you at all. This kind of thing. So in the movie, you're being told that you're more magnificent than God itself. This kind of. So this is the human condition.
They have this idea that there is a being which is perceiving all of this. There is something, or
Yeah,
that I am, which is perceiving this. Okay? I can misunderstand what I am is, but I can't seem to get over the idea that there is. It's I am. It's fluent saying.
Can't get over the idea that
I can't. I'm getting like mixed up in my mind. The subtitle says you have to get rid of this I am idea.
Like you've been listening to Nisargadatta Maharaj.
No, I haven't been listening.
The I am infection is the cause of all this trouble. Forget about consciousness.
No, I haven't. This is like my own. This is just keeps coming like that.
It's very beautiful what he's saying, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm saying it in a funny way, not out of any derision.
No, but it's just like, and that keeps getting resisted. When I say, no, there's nobody here. There's nobody here. I was like, are you crazy? How can there be nobody here? Because I'm the one who perceives and I'm the one who can accept it or reject it.
Now, what you said was very good. We should look at that more. That I might misunderstand what that is, but the isness of that is not deniable, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I'm not denying that. The isness of that, I'm not denying. I'm completely accepting. I'm only saying it is a misunderstanding of what that is. Because the report is that I am just this. That there is a limited one here which has a limited perspective, and there is another one there which has their own perspective, and there are many, many, many. But that is not our experience. Have you ever experienced anybody else's I am? Then how can you conclusively say?
Okay, if I say I experience somebody else's I am, then I have to first presume that I am a separate entity.
Exactly.
So I can presume
Exactly.
some other I.
So when you said that there's another body here, and I am this body, there's another body, and you're saying purely on the basis of existence, you cannot make that another any division.
Yeah, because the way you just showed it to us, like I'm only not perceiving this body or this idea.
Yeah.
I'm hearing your words. I mean, I'm hearing anything which is perceivable in a sense.
Yes.
So there is an idea that no, only this part is mine. That there's a lot of freedom now or peacefulness when you say, okay, I'm not resisting the isness, but just the understanding or so it just suddenly feels correct. Yeah.
So now, without any inferences, you say it is undeniable that I exist. Now, for this existence, show me the boundary. Don't infer anything. Just check for yourself. What is the boundary of this existence? Doesn't have a boundary. So how can it be limited then? Without sensorily perceiving this body, do you know which body is here? Many times it will happen to you first thing in the morning that you open your eyes and for a minute you feel like, oh, this body is here. For that tiny moment, you feel like, ah, this one. But till you have any concept about who has woken up, you don't know what body you're going to wake up to. One beautiful satsang I got reminded of, as I was saying this, forget about I am. Have you all seen this satsang where Papaji is sitting in front of someone? And this questioner seems a bit confused. So then Papaji says to him, so who woke up this morning? Yes, I woke up. Okay. Don't touch this eye that woke up. Don't touch this eye that woke up. It's the same as Maharaj saying, forget about consciousness, forget about I am. Now if you start thinking about it and saying, okay, but even to forget, I have to be in I am. Maybe remembering and forgetting is just part of this phenomenon. Okay, all that then forget. Then forget. There's just something very primal about that instruction. Don't touch that eye which woke up. Its significance. Sometimes self-doubts are entertained as line between right and wrong is thinning away. Sorry, Father, I have to leave. Patients are here. I still feel I am right there, sitting in that chair, diagonally opposite you. Satsang inquiry fire has been intensely continuing even though I physically left Bangalore. Thank you for everything. Love, love, love. Thank you, Father, so much love and gratitude. Love you so much. I have to leave. Thank you. For the next few days, I'll just keep saying this. Don't touch the eye that woke up this morning.
I'm saying some more, but I'm like very good at it.
So if I say, what woke up this morning? What will you say? In sleep state, the eye that has no idea was there?
Hmm?
In sleep state,
Yeah.
the eye that has no idea was there? Like you had this feeling, I have no idea, even when you were asleep? It's okay, don't worry then. Don't worry about it.
Everything is very dense, and like, and there's this experience that even if I'm not this body, this consciousness or I or whatever seems to be experienced, I don't know, it seems to, you know, it seems to get caught up in whatever it is.
Let me say something and see if you can relate to that. Some denseness is there. It could be emotion or any perception which seems like it's very heavy. Yes? Now it seems like what the mind tries to do is quickly, in your perspective, to this point where you can feel like, but you are just completely overwhelmed or completely, this denseness is fully containing you. Okay? If that is not the case, then you will see that this denseness, no matter how dense it might seem, is contained in this room which has no walls.
I feel like it's not like I'm fully contained in it, or it's fully like it's not taking everything,
Yes.
and yet it's still very, there's still so much
Yes. But can you
devotion to it.
validate this with your looking and tell me the size of this denseness with regards to the space that it is in?
My attention is with the denseness and doesn't want, you know, and there's, so the attention is with the space around it.
So now, this is good. Now, attention is with denseness and attention doesn't want it. Is this true? That it is the attention which is bringing the not wanting into this picture?
The feeling is I don't want,
Yes, and this I now you're saying is the attention itself, it doesn't want it.
Like I don't, I'm very sharpness to find to answer these kind of questions that are quite sharp.
Yeah. So it's quite simple really. So there's a denseness and there's a feeling of not wanting it. Now you said that attention doesn't want it, and then you said "Oh, it's more like there's an I who doesn't want it. But is this I inferred or is this I or you can see this I?
I can't see this.
You can't see this I. So if I was to call it a presumption for a minute, will you be really upset? Because that which we do not see, and yet we claim the existence of, is like a presumption.
It's like the I that is the distance side. The I that knows its own existence.
What do you mean by feels like? Because something is making a connection between not wanting and that which is the creator of it itself. The projective light itself, which is projecting this universe, then some inference is being made that that itself doesn't want it. Now, in actuality, if it didn't want it, it would not be here because not one speck of dust, not one speck of sand or a blade of grass is here without the will of this one. And this is a worthy contemplation because if it is left unexplored and just believe that I actually don't want it, the I that am, the isness itself doesn't want something, and yet it is, then that can sound like a real battle. Yes.
Now, other times I've seen the absurdity of that. That's true. But
That's very good because at least those other times when there is, usually we rely on memory to trouble us more, but at least there are some memories in which you say that, yes, but I have had that experience in which I have seen that it is not true. So there is still, it is still possible to look at this and see what is really true.
I don't feel like I'm seeing what is true. I'm just not really seeing. I mean, I'm not.
But the seeing is there on.
No, it's not.
Or to even
It's
see
like
that.
the mind is just so, it's such dullness in the mind. That's where the frustration comes from. It's just not able to.
And I know that you get concerned about taking time on this and this kind of thing, but this is what I'm here for. Just when you say things like that, that it is just the dullness of the mind, there is no seeing there. But what sees the dullness of the mind? It is just that value has been given more to the content of what is being seen rather than that which is the seeing itself. I know there are 50 different things to which I say this is primarily what satsang is. But right now I want to say this is primarily what satsang is. To to divest all this meaning from just what is seen and bring some focus back into what is seeing it. Because sometimes there can be dullness, sometimes there can be peace, sometimes there can be joy, sometimes there's bliss, sometimes there's anger, sometimes there's frustration, sometimes there's greed, there's hunger, there's lust, there's all kinds of things. And we keep just involved in this. You see, then it's like with the kaleidoscope, it's constantly moving. It's moving in this constantly changing. And multidimensional, all these, the 5 sheets or the 7 sheets of existence, and so many layers in which we are experiencing this world, all of this is constantly there. But if we spend all our time just looking at the content of all of this, then it can feel like, well, I am part of the content. But if you really look and see what is seen, what is on that side of the content, as sublime or terrible as it might be, what is on the seeing side? Who is the one that perceives? That is the crux of the inquiry. Okay? But many of you sometimes, I notice that even when the inquiry is happening, you're still saying, okay, so I'm doing the inquiry and this is what's coming up, or this is what's not coming up, or I'm not feeling free, or I'm feeling very free. But the point of the inquiry is to say, who is seeing all of this? What is the witness of all of this? Who perceives all of this? So the mind can make even the inquiry into something about the content, but it really is not about the content.
So,
So,
so keep looking for who's seeing, who's looking. But this,
yeah,
you end up with nothing. You know,
it's
you end up with like this. There's nothing to grasp at that point.
yes, nothing
And
to grasp.
so
Okay, now slowly. Yes, good. I look for who is seeing, and I find that there is nothing to grasp. Then how are we able to say, I am the one that is seeing? Because in actuality, this I is nothing that you can grasp. And yet it is clear to you that it is I.
yes,
Yes.
yes. I'm just going into a loop at that point. It just goes into a
For me, it is
so
blissful wonder as I say this. Maybe it's like the treasure has no attributes, so we don't realize the value of it.
right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, you say that I look for who is seeing, and I find that there is nothing there. And yet, at the same time, it is completely natural to say, I am the one that is seeing. So, we have always seen that I am this I, which is not a thing, which is not graspable. Now, the seeker has learned that you will find this I, you will come to this self recognition as if it is an object in this world,
Right.
like some objective experience.
Yes.
You see? But actually, what you're realizing is that I have always only known this I, who has never been seen, and yet I have called it I all my life. It is what I have always been. Are you lying that you are seeing?
No.
Can you see the one that is seeing?
Not
Yeah.
seeing.
You see, you're not lying that you are seeing. You cannot see the one that is seeing. And yet you are not lying that it is I.
So it is I, unlike the I have used till now. It's very different.
Exactly.
It's a very
Well, not always, because many times just naturally you say, I'm just aware of all of this.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
I'm
We're
just
talking generally most of the time.
Yeah, most of the time
it's
it's-
unlike the I that I have
Yeah, exactly.
used till now. And I think the whole confusion that's happening is that it has no quality of I that I have so far associated with I. And also it has no way to recognize through an event.
And why it seems alien? Because all that we have related with I so far is doership, desire, and duality.
Right.
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 And you find none of that there.
Yes.
You're like, how can this be me?
Yes. I think that is where it's just, I'm just like, it's not that.
I am?
I won't say that.
No, it's,
I just feel stuck at that point. Almost feels like you're stuck at that point where.
show me the one who's stuck.
Yeah, I see the one who's stuck. I mean, it's just an idea, Father. It's just an idea.
The idea is stuck.
Just an idea.
How is the idea?
It's like the same exact same topic. I just wanted to share that. That's really weird, but as Krishna said, you can't. You know, it's a figure of speech to say instead of looking on this side of the sea, look on this side of the sea, because qualitatively it's a completely different spectrum. It's like it's almost like obviously the inquiry is one way, very potent way of kind of getting us to accept the fact that there is something which is only seeing, and isn't caught up in anything seen. But actually, what I found is that just by acknowledging that again and again and again, like something is happening, something is experiencing, or quite often it's just like this is experiencing. So you go from like experience plus whatever story you believe, so just for a moment, attention seems to just ping back into like, oh, it's just experiencing. And then it's almost like through just acknowledging that again and again, you come to see the emptiness of the experiencer. It's like not through direct perception of like, oh, look how empty it is, or look how qualityless it is. But just it's like it seems to expand inside. It's like almost doing some of the because I often used to like trying to see the seer. Why can't I see the seer?
The good part is that the seer or the seeingness itself or the knowingness itself is empty of qualities, but actually what is seen also, although it can feel like it is qualitative, but nothing has an inherent quality of itself.
It's just a reflection.
It is, in a way, because if the quality less one can have a reflection, it is just like that. So in the sense that, when you look at a so-called object, we are looking at the made up, the sort of, you can say, inferred qualities of it. Like I was saying that day, this quote was there that day about there being a table. So there's a table-ness about a table, but actually there isn't this quality to it. It is beyond just what is perceptual quality, which also we can't just trust at face values. Because nobody can really say that my red is your red anyway. It's just that we could be calling different colors red all our lives, or just, So there is no way to get concurrence on any of these qualities anyway. But I'm saying that most of these, even what we feel are qualities, are just meanings that we have given is it? To just perception, like the tableness of a table, or the cattiness of a cat. And I was just saying this morning, and I was reading somebody had written like this very beautifully. I don't know, this cat seems to be the favorite metaphor for many scientists, philosophers, sages too. And somebody else was saying that when you say cat, it can seem like such a simple three-letter word with direct meaning. But how much meaning is contained in these three letters? Really? Animal, with certain character traits, likes milk, you know, tomcat, then there are like thousands and thousands of meanings around just this simple word cat.
Is that why when you have an experience with a cat,
Yeah.
you know, like, because I've heard it said a few times,
Yeah.
like, you can say this, where they say, like, you know, you think you see a tree,
Yeah.
you don't really see the tree. And is it just because when you make that connection tree,
Yes,
those four letters
exactly.
pulls like
Yes.
the whole encyclopedia of the
Yes.
tree and
Exactly.
so you mix, and so in the same way like with a cat,
Exactly.
obviously it is a cat, but it's more like it's like a quite a constrictive like reference point to just say, okay,
Yes, but actually it isn't a cat. In the sense that, so in the sense that the cat nature that we ascribe to it, it is actually only what is in a way. It is just like we've been saying, no, that there's one sheet of paper with all these different colored countries on it. And you feel like, oh, this country is different from this country, and this country is different from that country. So what is actually there is yourself. In a way, I am happy to say that. But till a point, we can also say we cannot really tell what is the actuality of it is a big unknown. Who is to say all of this is not that Baba Fafa thing? Who is to say all of this is not just some? And even
but it kind of is, it seems.
yeah,
Like,
exactly, exactly. It seems more like it is just
something's just going,
yeah.
bah, 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 like, sometimes,
Exactly.
I'm trapped in the car,
Yeah.
isn't it? But like what I don't know, I would like it.
In the sense that just let me add a bit more to that. And we look at what all constructs we add mentally to just these all these concepts on these constructs of time and space, for example. You see, even beyond constructs of cause and effect, which we can easily see, is just made up. You see, but even these very primal seeming concepts of time and space are constructs that we supply as consciousness with our notions of it. As these notions of time and space, these constructs of time and space, are not inherent in the perception itself. Like yesterday, I was saying that it can feel like there is space between two objects. But can we really confirm that? It's just a question of perspective, in the sense that it could all be just projected on the, if we to take a phenomenal thing, let's take the example of the VR headset. Right? In the way that the size and the perspective is designed over there, it might feel like that object is far and this object is near, but actually it's just happening on the screen of the headset. So can we confirm actually any spaciness in this space? Just because one object seems to be here. So yeah, this is a bit bending, I know. It's a bit
like time,
yeah.
like I feel like that's clear, it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
You know, you can never find time.
Yeah.
It's just a seeming.
Yeah.
And it's quite harmless in its seemings, you know, but space somehow, like, I
And
appreciate what you're saying as well. I also feel
and here, what is more natural to feel is that yes, there is time because there was this moment. Yeah. But space seems more like just these moving images are there. On one screen, it doesn't feel like it's actually any distance or something. And of course, both both are seen through, because both are the same in a way.
Mm.
I don't know if I can put that into words. Let's see. Is it possible that there is space but no time, or there is time but no space? And here it feels clear to me that it is not, but let's see if some words can come up in elaboration on that. Like when the image is still, when the image is still, it is easy to see that it is just on the screen, like a painting. But it's still, once the once this dimension of time comes into play, where things seem to change, then it can feel like it's happening in a space. So the lack of spaciness is apparent when it is seen that there is no change or there is no time. And when it's seen that there is no space, then there's nothing for time to act upon anyway. It's a rough translation of something which is not really articulatable as an insider. But you can see that if there was just no space, then there's nothing for time to actually operate on. Because time is nothing but the measure of some rate of some change.
Yes.
The changiness of space is what we call time.
So I guess the question there to contemplate,
Yeah.
Maybe it's like, can anything change without space to change? Or can it?
Any of these questions, actually, when you get straight into these things, like when you get into explorations of this primal thing, which are most unpopular in the world to look at, like even things like attention, belief, time, space. You see, all of these things, if you just take for granted. I don't feel like too many people have done a thesis on what attention is. What is that? What are you studying? I'm studying what attention is. Really? But such an intimate tool in a way, isn't it? This attention. But not enough attention goes to attention. In the same way, because we feel so much that we are objects in this world. You're like, what's there to discuss about time? Till these scientists came who really started talking about relativity and the malleability of both time and space. I feel like not much attention really went to this exploration. What is time? What is really? It's like I wonder when I use that comic book example, will it make some sense? Because what I'm really saying is that it can feel like if you go frame by frame, that the characters are moving in some comic book time. Is it? You just take slice of life, then you take the next slice of life, then you take the next slice of life with our attention. And it can feel like that's happening in a space where it is clear that there's no space in that. It's just some imagery. And it can feel like, oh, but Superman, he was in the Daily Planet as Clark Kent, and then he heard with his hearing. This is where you're going frame by frame. And as I tell this story, you can tell the timeliness of this Superman character. Easy. But has that actually changed in time? Has there actually been something which has been affected by this time and moved forward?
What I find difficult.
Or has it just been a set of images that have been perceived, and the continuity is a construct that we have put on it as consciousness?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
But like the problem that I have with that I can't seem to fully go with that image is that you can either see continuity or a set of images, a set of separate images.
Yeah.
And so therefore, what's the in life experience, we have this
So
feeling.
explain that a bit more. You can either see.
So say you have like a slideshow, let's say, you know those books where you
Yes, exactly.
see the thing moving. So what you've got there is two modes of perception basically. You can either see a moving image, which is what I guess the metaphor is for our life.
No, so that's why comic book is better. You see? Because we can give continuity to those images also.
Yeah.
And that is how we consume this life also. We only taste one frame at a time. If I say bring the text two frames into this frame, nobody can do it. You see? Can you consume this set of images more than one at a time? It's beautiful to look at because we are actually consuming just this. This is the frame in front of me right now.
Because the frame has no edge, so you can't put two frames.
Yes, because it is not a 2D frame, but it's a 4D frame in front of me. You see? Or let's say 3D frame in front of me. You see? And with this idea of time, I'm saying as I visit the next frame, I'm saying something changed. It's not that I visited the next frame, but time changed and the next frame came. See? Time changed and the next frame came. But so many times people say, it's such a beautiful time that I looked at my beloved for the first time and time stood still. Yeah? This kind of thing. See? It's like consciousness was savoring what was there in that frame for so long. It can feel like I forgot to move to the next frame. Time stood still. Yeah. So frame by frame, we are consuming this life. And as the frames keep changing, we say, oh, this is moving in time. But actually, this is the content of the frame which is moving. Now, it's very beautiful because all these practices of being in the moment, being mindful, then it can feel like, oh, I've been able to stretch out this time. As we're savoring the content of this moment more and more, it can feel like time itself has been stretched out, has become longer. That's why I sometimes say that the sage seems to have more time. It's a beautiful contemplation. I'm not saying that any of the answers that are offered here are some truth or something like that. It's just if they can serve the purpose of us leaving our positions about any of this, then it has served its purpose.
So will it be like a attention moving from frame to frame, calling it within a time of it? Without this movement, where would I get the concept of change?
Yes, but see, the movement is a term we have to use.
Yeah.
You see? So, movement is a term we have to use, but it's neither is actually moving. How to say?
Okay,
Nobody has found this attention which is moving.
Mm.
You see? And yet it is clear that something is changing.
Yeah.
We run out of words.
No, okay,
Boring the
something
hell out of
is
everybody.
Because when you animate, like when I
Yes,
animate
exactly.
something,
Exactly. Yeah.
I have to create every frame possible.
Yes.
Right?
For it to seem real.
Yeah.
You see, the more what do they say in animation? The more frames per minute, the more realistic it will seem. Isn't it? Or what is the eye's capacity?
So it detects motion at 12 frames a second.
12
So at
frames
12
a
frames a second,
second.
it'll detect. But now, like if you see what these guys are doing, they're playing it at like 120, 48, 120 frames a second. Yeah.
Look at that. So then it feels like it's real life.
Yeah.
But suppose this real, so-called real life is like 300 frames a second. So nobody will be able to tell.
But then all these are based on one assumption that we are in the world.
Yes. Well,
Isn't it?
is it?
I mean,
How does-
if you're talking about space also,
Yeah.
like a frame,
Yeah.
a frame of a movie
Yeah.
has no space technically other than
But the
flat.
viewer of the frame, the viewer of the comic book or the movie, is never inside the movie actually.
No, never. But they are outside of that space that we're referring to as space. If two characters in a movie are talking about space,
No.
then you are
of course. Of course. That's what I'm saying. That it is not that this body is out of this space.
No, not this body.
That which is the scene.
Yeah.
Really is not contained in these frames.
So I was saying, so I have all these various frames I made.
Yeah.
Okay? I create every image possible.
Yes.
And then I have timeline. I have to decide how many frames will that so this the time the head it's called moves over so many frames, right? At whatever speed I want, I
Yes,
set it,
exactly.
right? So this head is like the scene. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like the
It's
attention.
like the attention.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So if the head didn't move, I mean, if I didn't move over X number of frames, there wouldn't be any perception of change.
Yes, yes. Well, I'm only saying that this is a very good metaphor, but that which we are talking about is outside of time and space.
Yeah.
You see, that which is outside time, then we cannot actually use temporal motions on it. That is why I'm saying that it doesn't actually fully apply like that. So we cannot apply that to attention in a way, because fundamentally both being and attention are not contained in time and space. It is the seemingness of time and space which comes in the presence of being with, and being working in consonance with this tool called attention. Little. Yeah. Yes, yes. But that is also a spatial comparison, isn't it? That's what I'm saying. That, yeah.
Sense of the being, but this room. It's nothing to do with this room.
Yes.
And we keep on repeating the same thing, like emotions.
Yes.
And
That's
it's
it.
just dying.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
also it feels like a page, and it feels like a construct, a concept. And then we go through this pictures and time and space, and it's again the same.
Yeah.
It's nothing there.
Yes. That's true. And as
You
you,
understand it, but it's just never understand it. Like this time and space.
yes, yes, that's why I said that don't feel like some answers will come, but at least this coconutness, which relies so much on these notions of the I being contained in time and space, if that can get shaken out of you, then you see that, oh, I've just been considering myself to be an object within this realm of time and space. But can I really conclude anything about this time and space? Like we said, he said that this movie, this is just a movie which is designed at 100 frames per second or something like that. And that includes his body, his eyes, everything is included in that movie. Then what conclusion can we actually draw? More and more we are coming to that point where we can see that perceptually I know nothing and conceptually I know nothing. And anything that I can say, oh, it is like this, it's just made up. It's just made up. So, goodbye. It's been a long satsang. Thank you all so much for being in satsang today. Sadhguru Shri Moji Baba ki
Jai.
Sadhguru Shri Ananda Ji ki Jai.
Guru Kripa Kevalam. How did we go from dropping everything to writing a treatise on time and space?